Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Crushin Cans. Derrick, it's been a while, buddy. How you been doing?
Been busy, actually. It's nice to be back. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. For those that noticed, I'm in a different spot here now. Pulling Dale, doing a show at my parents' house since I moved out. Got my new house on its way. It'll be ready in about a month. But busy summer. A lot of vacation time for you. Some camping. How's the fam doing?
It's good. There's actually nobody here right now, surprisingly, right? Kenzie's working. Kids are at mom and dad's. But no, actually, the long weekend was the first weekend I actually got to spend at home in over a month. So it's nice to kind of get some shit done around here and just kind of, take it easy, relax. So, and then, we get to do this again Thursday night. Big show coming up. Big night. Nope, wrong side. Go Blue!
Yeah, CFL starts tonight, so you're a little fired up. Just quickly, though, Brendan Gallagher interview dropped last night on the channel. If you haven't checked that out, please do. We know Gallagher's Wi-Fi is a little spotty. We got some comments saying get him to record a copy of audio on his end. He was doing it from a phone, didn't know how to get on his computer, his new one he bought. So just struggling to make ends meet, but you could still understand. It was a good interview. Love seeing Gally. Weird seeing him without any cuts or scrapes or bruises on his face, but the guy's looking good, smiling like he always does. So check out Brendan Gallagher. Dropped last night on the YouTube channel. Pretty sweet interview.
I haven't checked that one out yet.
No, it's good.
No, I was at the rink all night with the boy. He had a camp, and then whatchamacallit? And then I had ball hockey later on at night. So
yeah, right on. And I know I think Dale and I are recording another one here soon with Paling, so that'll be coming out on the channel. Flashback Friday, is tomorrow with Nick and Deeks. I think they might be talking about Paling's first NHL game, which I was at, which was kind of wild because he got the hat trick and then the shootout winner.
You still have the ticket stub?
I think so.
Nice.
Somewheres. But anyways, so Paling's coming soon. I think Suzuki's coming soon as well. Just waiting on details from him. Gonna be a good lineup of guys now that they're into the off season. Gave them a little bit of time off here. Gonna be some good interviews coming. But tonight we are breaking down the fictional sports characters, the bracket we started. Now, if you pay attention to our social medias, especially Twitter, we put polls out matching two fictional characters against each other to see who is the best fictional character of all time. Gonna be pretty interesting.
Yeah. Well, before we throw that up, we'll shout out to our sponsor here.
Ooh, yes.
The summer pack is out. If you're in Winnipeg,
it's been a few days since we've done one of these. I forgot we didn't even crack our beers yet.
I got the sexy,
the new one.
The sexy new can. Look at this.
Yeah,
that's fabulous.
That new can is sweet. But Torque Brewing, shout out to them in Winnipeg.
Ooh. Still, that's not bad.
It's like riding a bicycle, eh?
It is. You're right back in the saddle. We'll put you in the pocket, get you ready for the Blue Bomber game. So what's going on, Mike?
Mike M. Blaine wrote,
4 o'clock beer. That's not. There's no problem with that.
No, 5 o'clock somewhere. That's what they say.
I mean, 10 in the morning here on Saturdays. I go, well, hey, it's noon where Brando is, so let's go.
All right, so we're gonna talk about the bracket quickly. We do have some results. I'm gonna pull up the bracket here.
Yeah.
Just a second here. I gotta find it. There it is. So we just made a quick error on the first bracket. Roy Munson did beat out Julian Washington. Daniel the Karate Kid, he beat out Becky O'Shea, the Icebox.
I thought the Little Giants would get a little bit more love here.
Yeah, it's the Twitter sphere. You never know what's going to happen.
That's true.
Adonis Creed beat out Banksy. I voted Banks.
So did I. But you know what? He's soft. I get it.
And then Rocky Balboa beat out Willie Mays Hayes. We had Shooter McGavin beat Reg Dunlop. And then we had
Shooter beat Paul Crew.
Yeah. Erdy McCracken beat Frank Dux.
Yeah,
that's what it is. And then Gunnar Stahl beat
Cal Newton Jr.
I wanted him to go all the way. But anyways, Sorry, go ahead.
I got a little flack from this one from Dale. Happy birthday to him, by the way. You know, he's over in Sweden doing his thing.
He's got a job again.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess we'll give him a shout out, give him some love. He was telling me that Shane Falco should have won, that he was better than Reg Dedloff. I don't know. The guy gambled in college. He's a cheater. You know what? Feel good story, replacements. Finally caught up to him. That's right. Hit the bricks, buddy. Hit the bricks.
And if you want to get your votes in, the bottom half of that left-hand side is going to be going up on Twitter tomorrow in poll format. So make your votes tomorrow. But the second round I'm kind of looking at is this Adonis Creed, Rocky Balboa, like you said.
Ooh, that's big.
Yeah.
You know what? There's some good matchups here.
There are some great ones. There's some hard ones too.
Coming up tomorrow, though, I call this one the group of death. I think this is gonna be tough getting out of this one. But we'll see what happens. We will see. Tim Riggins. Yeah, see, you know what? I was hoping Riggins on one side, Kane on the other, and then you have the heavyweight fight at the end. But here we are, first round.
Yeah.
Anders Kane, baby. I'm sorry.
Tim Riggins all the way.
I'm a big Riggins guy, but I mean, Kane does it all. He does it all.
But just make sure you follow us on Twitter at Habs Tonight to vote on who you think's best fictional character. It's gonna be fun.
Look, Kenzie's in here.
Riggins. It is Dale's birthday today. We're having a drink for him since he's actually working again. So hats off to him in Sweden.
I was actually Riggins' stunt double in Friday Night Lights. I'm shredded, just shredded.
You look like a Matt Saracen.
I can be quarterback too. I mean, I'm like the Swiss Army knife, right? All purpose machine on this end.
Yeah, for sure. So, like we said, check out the bracket on our Twitter page. Make some votes. I know we're going to release, like I said, the polls tomorrow morning for the new ones. The bottom half of that left-hand side.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
In other news, the amount of UFA signings in the NHL has been absolutely insane. So I think let's obviously, because Habs tonight, let's talk about what Montreal has done this offseason. Like we obviously know Weber goes down with that injury, not expected to play this year. Future careers in doubt. That's fair to say, I think.
Is that just kind of, we're going to say he's there and then the mountain man comes back?
I don't think so.
That's best case scenario, right?
I don't think he's coming back. Like I would be very, very shocked. But we know he's out for this year. Like Burge wouldn't say anything if you expect him back a bit, but
Kenzie's comment there. Well, I do both. Again, Swiss Army knife.
So Montreal goes out and they get David Savard on D. Not a replacement for Weber, similar kind of play for a decent contract. I think it was just under $16 million, if I'm not mistaken.
For 4 years, yeah.
3 points.
No,
maybe.
I was. It was. I think when Nick and Deeks were doing the show with the news of coming out with Weber, and I got on there. I said it's not a bad signing. The guy, you know what you're gonna get. He was on those Columbus teams that beat Tampa, and then he jumped the ship. And he's been lights out all the way, right? He's reliable, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and you know what you're gonna get. So for that money, why not? You lock him up, and now you have Sherratt, Edmondson,
Savard.
And him. Who else you got back there? Beautiful man. Oh, he's so beautiful. And then and Kulak, Romy. I mean, that's good D.
Yeah, it is.
That is good D. So I mean, I think it might be, not as offensive as previous years coming from the back end, but you're not going to allow as many or as those high quality chances.
No, for sure. And I agree with that too. And I think you see a kind of a shift in the league. I know puck moving D are getting paid right now. Like you look at the Dougie Hamiltons and Quinn Hughes and all these players like that. It's Seth Jones. But Werenski got another big ticket. Sorry, I keep naming off a bunch of them. But like I feel like you've seen the playoffs. I know it's a different game. And the defensemen, like they're D-men in the playoffs that get it done, right? And I think you can kind of see a shift in the NHL where teams are starting to focus on that again, where they get the big D to play the defense zone and then kind of rely on their forwards for that offense. But you still need that puck moving D. I'm not sure if Romy steps up a bit here. Kulak, I can kind of see him being like Beautiful Man, where he kind of gets better as his career keeps going. Petrie's still going to be there.
Yeah, well, I mean, like with the Edmondson and those guys, like they're not high offensive output. So maybe Romy can jump up to that second pair. And then, Petey goes number one with Ben. And then Edmondson, Romy, and then Savard on the third pair. But I mean, then again, those guys can in and out as you go.
Yeah. And we got Weidman too for a little bit of depth.
Yeah. I got him in the 6-7 spot. I mean, if someone goes down, he comes in, or if he, plays lights out, come camp and makes the team, then you never know. Maybe it's him, Kulak, but you never know with Romy because they shut him down in playoffs. You never know, right? It's going to be interesting, especially on the back end. The forwards, I like the Hoffman signing. The guys,
same here.
He's essentially Tyler Toffoli.
I was just about to say that's exact same, like a similar contract.
Yeah.
Expect the same thing.
25 a year. Right?
Help that power play out.
That release. And you could maybe, I'm not saying, he goes on the second unit, but it gives you another weapon on the second unit.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we were just talking before we came on here, the wings are loaded. You got your top two centers. Blaine was talking about Dvorak. We were talking about that before, but Zona's, just say it, they're tanking for Shane Wright.
Yeah, and picks.
Yeah,
they're looking for futures.
So are you going to give that up to kind of make another run in the division that just got a whole lot better than what you were in last year?
Yeah.
So
it's tough. So like you said, you got Hoffman. They brought Paquette in on close to league min, I think it is.
I like him.
Yeah. So he should help out a bit. You could see me in the fourth line, maybe odd man out. It all depends on the season starts because you got guys that'll be pushing. I'm expecting Ryan Poehling to have a serious shot at making the lineup this year out of camp. I don't know if it's on the wing.
You got to think he's penciled in though, because you have to start bringing in some of the young guys.
Yeah,
like I mean the Perreault signing. He's been in Winnipeg for how long?
Yeah.
Well, you know how I feel about it. We're gonna let that one go. No, I think he's probably. I'd have him as a 13th forward.
Perreault?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that because he signed, I think it was like $950.
Yeah, so it's not like he's being paid to be in the lineup. Yeah, he's there for depth and maybe, I guess, mentoring guys. I don't know that
because like we talked about the C position, like a Dvorak or something too. But forgive me, I think it was Berge or it was Ducharme. They basically said now it's like trust the kids, like it's them or nothing now. I mean, like KK's going into his fourth year. Susie's going to break out, I think. He's almost one of those guys you lock up for 8 years now while he can, still relatively cheap. And then you got Poehling coming. Romy's going to come into his own here.
And he's in Suzuki's your number one guy now.
Yeah, 100%.
So, and then KK falls in that 2 slot. Paquette's brought in to be that shutdown guy, I guess.
Evans on the 3 line. That's why I can see Poehling starting on the wing.
Yeah.
Because he can play a heavy game. He's a decent-sized kid. So I can't wait to talk to him. I can't say for sure when it's going to happen, but I know it's lined up that we're going to be interviewing Poehling soon. So I can't wait to talk to him, see what his thoughts are. Because he had a great year in the A this year for the Rocket. It's just very unfortunate that he had to get wrist surgery in the playoffs because he had a chance probably to jump in that lineup maybe. With some of the injuries, like you saw KK get benched, Evans get hurt. You never know. But I'm curious to see how Poehling does. I think he's looking good to start the year with the Montreal Canadiens.
I mean, going along with the division too. Boston, they finally. I mean, with Krejci leaving, huge hole.
Yeah.
But they went out and spent the money to fill. So
re-signed Hall. They brought in Forbort on D.
Yeah, I'm surprised they went out and got him. It's not pricey, but he just kind of came up, and like I guess he's kind of been like a journeyman. But he was here in Winnipeg too. But
I think I heard on Chicklets they said he led the team in like PK time and block shots. So,
oh yeah, the guy he just stands in front of everything. If I have a goalie like Hellebuck, I'm letting him make the save. But
speaking of which, just because you made me think of it, Hellebuck, we were talking about beforehand. I think a lot of people are talking about what the Winnipeg Jets did this offseason is quite impressive, because we said all year last season that their top six is arguably
top three in the league.
Top three in the league.
Hands
top
down.
5 for sure. Easy.
Yeah.
And then you just shored up your blue line. Like you have Brendan Dillon, you have DeMello, Morrissey. What's the other one? Schmidt just came in.
Yeah.
There's that other D-man that was there with them last year. Pionk, he's there.
Yeah. Dylan DeMello.
Yeah. And then you got Hellebuck and net. The backup goaltending was the question you brought up.
Yeah, I think they're gonna maybe ride Eric Comrie, losing Laurent Bessois to Stanley's back there too. Yeah, but and that's the thing. Stanley being the young guy, he might get pushed out.
Not third pairing, you don't think?
Well, you got Pionk, DeMello are in, Schmidt, Morrissey,
Dylan, Stanley.
I mean, he looks good. He looked really good in a playoff where it's, tight checking. It's not as wide open. He's still a young guy, right? And depending, I don't know if he has to clear waivers or not, but and the Jets are good for that though, like bringing in guys like one every 5 and rotating or whatever. Yeah. And I think he's kind of another Tyler Myers-esque type defenseman that he can grow into.
Yeah. Very similar.
Yeah. But I think the Jets put themselves as the front runner in that Central Division.
Oh, for sure. And we said it all year too. Like the forward group is great.
Unreal.
Connor Hellebuck's a Vezina winner.
They absolutely
it was the
bet in the second round though. I mean, losing Scheifele was like that's a huge blow. Oh, and they're gonna come back, and the top 6 will be. You'll have I'm gonna guess 3 guys in the top 6 there with 70+ points. Easy.
Yeah, because you got Scheifele, Wheeler, Ehlers, Connor, Dubois.
Yeah, Dubois is gonna break out of that.
He had to have been banged up.
He's young, man. He's young. Yeah. So once he finds that, consistency and how to play that big man game, this kid's going to be lights out.
Yeah. And then just speaking of which, I just made me think of it while we were talking. LA signs Phil Deneau. Congrats to Phil Deneau.
5.5.
Bank. He's set for life now. 6 years, 5.5. Congrats to him and his family. I know that's a big hole. Montreal is losing. I know it's not the offensive output people wanted, but I mean, what he did in playoffs as a shutdown guy against those elite centers was incredible. I'm honestly, I'll say I'm happy Montreal didn't spend that money on him, but I'm happy he got that money somewheres. You know what I mean?
$1 million a goal. It's the Milan Lucic. No,
secured the bag.
That helps LA in such a big way. They have 4 centers now that if Kopi's up there in age, but the guy now he doesn't have to really be the shutdown. He can go back to offense. Phil's the shutdown guy. You got Quentin Byfield coming up. And Velarde's in there too. That in that Pacific Division is weak.
It is. Yeah.
Aside from Vegas, Vancouver, you got to figure they take that step again, and they're going to get in the playoffs. Edmonton, we were talking about that goaltending duo you're not going to get it done long term.
No, you got to think they made a move, because we were talking before we went live. I was mentioning that I heard on, I think it was Chicklets saying, I think it was Frank Saravelli on Chicklets. Sorry, he said Edmonton was in on Kemper.
Yeah.
But Colorado beat them to it. But if Edmonton would have got Kemper, I mean, I know they kind of switched up their decor and got a little bit better up front, but I don't know what, like you're saying, I don't know how bringing in Mike Smith and Koskinen for another year, I don't know if it's a recipe for success for them.
No. I was listening today to Friedman and Merrick there, and they're saying because of the whole situation in Dallas, Hudobin's probably the odd man out. You're not signing Holtby just to trade him back, pretty much to the, you know what I mean? So I think Hudobin's the odd man out. Bishop, LTIR, Ottinger, unless he steals the starting job, which is, it could happen, but I why rush the guy?
Exactly. They're just going to leave him the A because, like we said, no waivers.
Yep.
Let Dolby or start, and then I don't know. But then there's another team I'm actually pretty curious about. I'm not expecting big things. I'm not saying the Cup favorites, but like what the New Jersey Devils have done, bringing in a Thomas Tatar, Dougie Hamilton. It's going to help them out a bit. You got those young C's or high picks. You got the Heischer and Hughes going.
You get $20 million in 2 defensemen.
That's true. Subban's last year on his contract, but I like the Devils are kind of turning that corner. I think where I'm not expecting I'll be shocked if they made playoffs. But you can see they're turning the corner. You know what I mean? Like guys are wanting to sign there.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Dougie Hamilton deal? Did you like that?
I didn't expect him to go there.
Me neither.
And that's the thing. Like I think depending what happens there, Subi's going to be that trade deadline guy, right?
Yeah.
You got to have TSN's got to have him up there already, depending on his season.
Because you only got 1 year left. Jersey retains. You can get some decent picks for him, maybe depending on how his year goes.
He has a good. No, I think this is the year. This is it.
That's what I mean. So they can retain for the rest of the year, and then.
Well, you get him at a prorated.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he's making like $9 or $10 million though.
9, I believe.
9, yeah.
He's the one that started this defenseman fiasco.
Which shows you,
but the thing is, though, I understand the whole Makar thing.
That's gonna be a great deal in a few years.
If the cap goes up, it's even better. But people are complaining, oh, Werenski gets this, Werenski gets that. Werenski's deal goes, I think, 3 or 4 years into his UFA, where Makar's goes 1. So this guy's going to get paid again. So he's going to make over $100 million in his career. Like all I think that, right? That's nuts.
Bill, what was Carey Price's comment to the media? Sorry, I want to see what he says. But you see these guys getting paid, and then you think back to last year's offseason, what Burge did signing Petrie, the beautiful man, to that deal. Because it seems like these, I'll say mid-range D from the 3 to 5 slot, you know what I mean? Like second pair, third pair kind of deal. They were getting $4 million, 4.5. Like money was tossed around on D this offseason.
But like we say about third line guys, you got to pay them in the $3 million range to have those guys. Like, I mean, the Blake Coleman signing in Calgary is crazy to me.
Goudreau got paid too in New York.
Yeah.
Barclay Goudreau, he got 6 years.
Yeah, but that's not really, if you look at it, it's a Brennan Tanev kind of deal with 2 extra years because you're paying the guy because he has 2 cups.
Yeah.
If you win cups.
And some sandpaper.
Yeah, right? So, I mean, Brendan Tanev, everyone was like, oh, that's a great deal for Pittsburgh. He gets taken in the expansion draft. That's great for Seattle. And now Goudreau gets the exact same deal, just 2 years longer. So I don't have a problem with that one.
No. And then we saw Seth Jones go to Chicago.
They're going
which
for
I called a couple weeks before that deal happened. I said to you, I have a screenshot of it in my phone.
Video or it didn't happen, but
but anyways, I said he's gonna go there to be with his brother. Yeah. Then the Flower gets traded there for absolutely nothing. Flat cap world.
And the guy's staying in Chicago.
I know. I can't wait. You got another run with Johnny Tays, Patrick Kane.
Johnny's gonna have a big year this year. You watch.
Yep. Kirby Doc's there. Kirby Doc's brother got drafted there.
DeBrincat.
Team of brothers.
Strome.
Yeah.
You know what? And then even the backup Lakeinen, I like him. He had a good season.
And that's perfect for Fleury to come in there and teach that Lankinen how to play, or like how to, like go about being in the NHL. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like what Chicago's done.
And the good thing for Fleury, okay, yeah, he's like, I don't. It is probably a strike because he kind of, was a shock to the system. He found out on Twitter, which is bullshit. Like, show the guy some respect. He's been in the league fucking long enough. He's a cup champion and Vizina. He's won everything pretty much, right?
And then they just trade him. And
yeah, but I think if he has a good season, he could maybe squeak out another 2-year, $8 million deal.
Go to Pittsburgh for the end, a little farewell tour.
Trade deadline if Chicago goes south.
Yeah,
because I think that's what he really wants, right?
Yeah. So quickly, I gotta mention the hats we're wearing. Dale was wearing a shirt in the interview with Gally yesterday. Crushin cans, you can get it on our website, habsnight.net. Tons of stuff on there.
You got the
right here. So we got some Crushin cans merch on this one, obviously because it's our show. Habs Night shirts, habsnight.net to get your merch. Something great. And then I saw quickly one of the comment I want to get to. I'll get there in just a second. But if you're wondering what Derrick was sipping on, or what we are, it's this one right here, brought to you by Torque Brewing. We'll get back to the conversations about UFA signings and trades here in a second, but I don't know, habsnight.net, get your merch. And also, for the ones that missed out at the very start of the show, we put some polls out for the bracket, greatest fictional sports player of all time. One half of the left side has been done. You see some of the winners here. We got a great matchup in the second round, Adonis Creed, Rocky Balboa. But the bottom half of the left-hand side goes up on Twitter tomorrow in the poll format, so make sure you get your votes in on who you think is the greatest fictional sports player of all time. Love the sport. Love everybody voting. Appreciate it. Yeah. But I just want quickly to Bill, his comment was, I think originally Kerry and his wife Angela thought there's no way Seattle takes him. And then they heard a little bit of the scuttlebutt that Seattle was thinking about it. And I think they almost came to terms with it just in case it did happen. But hey, thankfully they didn't. We still have Carey Price and Jake Allen. What a ballsy move by the Montreal Canadiens.
Oh, Carey went to them because he said he might not be ready to go.
Yeah.
And
it's crazy that he thought of this.
And he's like, they're not going to take $10 million. But then you kind of start to think, when do you ever get a chance to get a goalie like this?
Face your franchise, pull like a Vegas with Fleury thing. I understand it's a lot of money. I understand why they didn't.
Well, and then, Gruby fell right into their lap.
Yeah, that's true. And Drieger.
And then Washington gets Vanacek back.
Yeah, no.
I still don't get why they didn't take Kahakinen. Is that it?
Kakinen on Mini?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's another solid one.
Yeah, I can't.
I don't know what they did. Like, I thought there was gonna be like after the draft was done, I was expecting so many different picks to be revealed. Like Montreal trades this pick because they didn't take Price, or this team trades that like draft pick because they didn't take X or Y. Nothing happened. Like Ronnie France, he pooched it.
I mean, I don't want to say they're like. I mean, it's the Pacific Division, so. They're not a team that's going to score a ton. They're going to be that sandpaper team. Do they maybe get a wild card, slip into fourth if they can go on a run where Gruby and Dreek steal, a game?
Where's your offense going to come from?
You're going to win games 3-1, 3-2.
Yeah.
You're not putting up fives. You're not being Colorado Tom Brady's with sevens.
I just see you have an opportunity to at least grab a Tarasenko or somebody for free, and you didn't do it. And you're way under the cap. And now I know there's rumors that they're waiting for next year to try to take advantage of the flat cap scenario and stuff like that, or just load up on draft picks and build from the bottom out.
Have you seen the UFA group for 2022?
No. Is it good? Is it good?
It's nuts. I think there's like top 50 players. I think there's probably like 30 of them in there.
Ooh,
Barkov's in there. You know that man's getting paid.
oh yeah, for sure. So Bill said Vegas GM said in his phone conference that he was going to tell Fleury ASAP, but before the GM told him, it was blast all over Twitter. I can see it. But like you almost like maybe tell him beforehand, like, hey, we're looking to move you. But I think they did, and Fleury said he wanted to stay.
You didn't have a no move when they signed
Leonard
5 years. Like the writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
And DeBoer, even last season before Leonard got hurt, he took over the job. Started the season, Leonard was the guy. He got hurt. It's honestly the only reason why Fleury played. Otherwise, he was riding, shotgun pretty much all the entire season.
But it's just crazy how he wins the Vezina. And it's just like, okay, thank you. See you later. Vegas is business for them. They don't care.
We talked about this. They look at their first round picks that they've shipped. Look at the team look at that expansion draft team first year that went to the Cup final. Who's left? Not many.
Not a crazy amount.
Not many.
Yeah, like you said, the first round picks, like you said, Suzuki's gone, Glass is gone, and Brandstrom's gone.
And that's the thing, right? But the thing is, if you're a team like Vegas, knowing that you're in Vegas, you're not going to have a problem attracting guys.
No.
So, I think sooner or later this does catch up to you. Maybe
when you have a young like stud, and he knows the loyalty's not there, that's where I think it might burn you a bit, especially when contracts are coming up and a player knows like, hey, these guys don't. I mean, obviously they care, but you know what I mean? Like they just don't give a shit. Like no matter who you are, like they did it to Fleury. You're out if we need you, gone. But I mean, on the other side, Vegas, they're treating like a business like it is. It's shitty to say, but
the thing is, Vegas still, I believe, has Oscar Dansk in the pipeline there for goalies. That guy's a Swedish stud. I mean, all Swedish people are, but hey.
We had a few more signings too, like Sam Bennett gets paid again in Florida, Duclair's in Florida. There's been a bunch of moves, but the biggest thing, it seems like the whole like league wide, it's just been a goalie carousel. Like Toronto gets Mrazek and Campbell. Carolina has Antti Ranta and Freddie Anderson.
That's weird, right?
Holtby leaving, Fleury's leaving. Like it's crazy.
I like the signing of Halak in Vancouver. I really like that.
That's a great backup for Demko. Sarah said in Vegas last week in Fleury's jersey he was the face of their franchise. And it's just sad what happened, unfortunately. Verhaeghe with Florida is a great one.
Yeah. That guy, we got Ryan Suter, 4 years in Dallas. Edler went to the Kings.
Yeah. Quickly, Bill wants you to touch on this one quick. The Hoffman.
I like it.
Yeah.
We talked about it a bit earlier. Essentially, Tyler Toffoli, guy bangs home 20 a year, like in his sleep. So, and then he could be a power play threat, maybe penalty kill.
Yeah.
You never know, right? And then and then you think of all the games that go to overtime. That's another threat. Where
exactly.
Now
top end talent.
Now you can throw out, honestly, like 4 sets of guys in overtime. You don't have to run 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Yep. So, and again, it's another, and they're bringing in vets that have been around who, are going to help these young guys grow. So, I mean, if shit does hit the fan and it doesn't go as good as, everyone, assumes it will, like I said, on other shows, that this might be a season where you take a step back to take 2 forward.
Yeah, 100%. Let the young guy, like I think, like I know what you're saying is, if it's not looking great, honestly, let the young kids play, build, because this is your next core coming up. I know Pricey's still there. We said Weber before, but obviously he's not playing. Gallagher's there, but you can see this young, the new core is here. It's just a matter of getting them some playing time now.
And like with the Division 2, I know it's going to be hard for everybody, but I brought this up to Dale, where Chicago, being that young team that they were, playing in that super tough division that they were in. I think that helped them maybe progress a little faster than they would thought. Whereas Montreal was in, I know they went to the final and whatnot, but I think division-wise, it wasn't the strongest. And then coming back to playing Tampa, Toronto, Boston, Florida, like those are big teams. Yeah. I think those teams have, it's not a shot against the young guys because you're going to have to go through growing pains here. Yeah, it is, fourth, third year in the league, but it's those guys like Boston who always everyone writes Boston off, but that core group knows how to win. They know how to get through, the ups and downs of the season. Look at Tampa going through the season this year. They didn't care to win the division. Yeah, I mean, they probably wanted to, but they just said, hey, let's just, as long as we get in, exactly. who's beating us 4-7?
Yeah.
Even in the playoffs next year, that core is relatively still there.
They just lost that third line.
They got the big cat in net. I mean, they're not an easy out. Like,
and they got Corey Perry too.
Corey Perry.
Man, I wanted him to return to Montreal, but happy he got 2 years. It was fun watching him.
I'm a big Corey Perry guy, and we were joking he's the Marian Hossa. But it may, because I know Montreal was kind of looking at Getzlaf too, but I mean, you kind of figured Anaheim wasn't going to let their captain walk.
No, and I don't know, like if Perry stayed, maybe Getz comes, but I understand why Perry went down there. I mean, they offered him 2 years. Montreal's probably offering 1. Perry knows there's some kids coming, longer season and stuff, but a fourth line that has Maroon, Perry, and I'm not sure who centers that line. Joseph, maybe. That's a line that can.
Joseph might move up.
That's true because that whole third line's gone. Gord's gone.
Who's the kid that scored the game winner?
Ross Colton.
He's center, no?
I'm not sure. He plays with Stamkos, I think. Could be wrong.
Jeez.
Anyways, it's only been like 3 weeks since the year over, and can't remember what the lines are.
Yeah, but we're a month away from camp.
I feel bad for some of the players. Like it's just like it's not even like time off. It's like leaving the rink, and then it's like, hey, we're back again. Like when do you start skating again? Probably a couple weeks.
You're going already.
Because I know Mete said when Dale interviewed him, like he's going. I think he said back on the ice in Ottawa like mid-September.
Yeah,
so you probably start skating 2 weeks out at home.
No, you're skating well before that.
Depending on the season.
Dale left, and Dale was skating a month before.
Yeah.
Right, and then
but he said he got over there, and guys haven't even been on the ice. Like their training camps, like get on the ice.
Well, they have a month of training camp, right?
Yeah,
so it's like us going to beer league. Hey, what'd you do all summer? Right, I'll figure it out.
Just for after the game.
I got a 30-game regular season. I'll figure it out by then, and then playoffs, everyone makes it. So it is what it is.
Good old beer league.
Yeah, but the thing is, like I do ball hockey in summer with Chris here. So, and that I find that to be, you get back in shape like that.
Yeah. So,
and especially with these guys being professional athletes, they're off for a bit, but then you get back on just to get your edges, get going again, get those lungs ready to go. Because once you get to camp, everyone comes in. You're probably you're in the city 2 weeks before camp starts, getting yourself set in your house. You're skating with the guys. You're kind of getting the family settled. So, you're probably going a month before you get to camp.
Yeah, so like that means honestly, like, and then I saw Angela Price's some of her Instagram stories and stuff too. Was the kids start school soon, like in a few weeks? Like the Prices are going to be back in Montreal here in 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe. And then if he's going to be there, there's probably going to hop out. Well, not him because his knee surgery, anyways. But like we're a few weeks away from guys getting back on the ice. You're gonna start seeing some videos, some posts. You'll see some more movement, either trades or some more free agent signing. Then you'll start seeing waiver moves once camps start.
How about the video that came out of Jack Eichel skating in Boston?
Ripping one-timers?
Yeah. What?
Okay, let's touch on this because like our group chat at Habs tonight has been divided. Chat, I want your thoughts on this too. Great. This is my opinion. I'll go first. Great player. I just don't know if that's what. Obviously, he makes Montreal Canadiens better. Day one, he joins. I don't know how long the surgery is, but too much money, like you're saying, you got to pay the kids soon.
Who's leaving?
Costs a lot. Exactly.
Who's
you're going to lose 4 pieces. Probably a roster player, first rounder for sure, top prospect. It's got to be at least 3 to 4 pieces. And with this surgery, I don't know how risky it is. I'm not a doctor, obviously.
You could be though.
Could be. Yeah. You imagine?
I believe you.
I just don't see, and I think any team Eichel goes to, it's gonna be a great fit. I just think where Montreal is right now in their kind of retool, stuck between Price's window and the kids' window, it's not the move to make. No, messy one.
Mm-hmm. It's glorious. I made a mess.
Watch Tank said just keep contracts under $10 million. I agree. That's why I'm on the sign Nick Suzuki right now to an 8-year, $6 to $7 million. If he takes it.
Yeah, but you know what though? Like, I don't know how much you guys like watch Buffalo and whatnot. This guy is the real deal.
I know he's good. It's just, it doesn't make sense in my mind.
Why are you paying defensemen that much then? The defensemen aren't going to put up 40 goals.
No, but
right?
It's just I think,
and I understand. You know, the whole defense wins championships. Well, you need goals to win. And this guy is one of the top end centers in Ovi's same age as me. And the guy just got paid another 5 years for 9.5.
How many goals do you have in the show?
Don't ask me because you know what? I don't want to tell you guys the truth, but I have, I think, 3.
Yeah.
But no, that's the thing. Those top end talent guys, you pay, right? Where Suzuki, who's going to lead the team in points this year? I doubt they get over 75. Eichel's a guy that's going to put up 90 with the right guys.
That's very true, but do you want to lose 4 pieces for it?
No, I said no, not a chance.
Yeah,
I said not a chance. No, you don't do that. That's where, like, I mean, I'm going to sound, stupid here, but Detroit has all the picks in the world to bring that guy in. And if you see Detroit start bringing a piece like that in, they got Nedeljkovic there. This team starts piecing together.
They have that Mort Cedar on D2.
You can build around this guy. Detroit's a team, too, that people want to sign there. You have Stevie Y there. You saw what he built.
He's a genius, right?
You saw what he did. And I love the fact that him and Sakic are building these absolute powerhouses. I would love to see Colorado, Detroit going back at it again and having like the alumni guys in the stands. And even seeing like Dallas in there to have like that big 3. Like Sportsnet always replays all these series of like Toronto, Ottawa. I'm sorry. Like, I don't care to watch that. Put on fucking Colorado, Detroit, Dallas, like way back in the day of like Nieuwendyk, Medano. Like, I would love to watch that. The clutch and grab is ridiculous. But like, you know what I'm saying? No, he's not going to get 40 goals in Detroit now.
In a few years.
Jesus Christ.
But that's what I mean. Like, there's teams out there where it's going to fit. I don't know where it is. But right now, like, as a Montreal Canadiens fan, does he make Montreal better this year? 1,000%. But it's the give up what you have to, like, it's a 4-piece trade.
Well,
and I don't know if
you saw
will those 4 pieces be better than him? That's another thing.
Combined.
I think there's going to be a team in the league that does it. I just don't know who.
They're saying Minnesota too, but I mean, Minnesota's in a real shit spot.
Well, they just bought out Suter and Parise.
Yeah.
How about Suter getting bought out, People think he's at the end of the road. He signs another decent sized ticket,
This
and
guy's
he's getting paid by Mini.
This guy's getting
more than what he did in Mini.
He's getting paid to play against you all season.
Millions.
Yeah, and Dallas is probably going to beat you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's not forget, Dallas is 1 year out from going to the Cup. They like that team got like they were hurt after that run, and that's why they didn't do so good this year. I think they come back. They have a good decor there. Their forwards are young. That's a good team coming up again. And again, in the Central Division, you got Winnipeg, Colorado, and then who else?
It's true.
I don't put Chicago up there yet because you haven't seen that team on the ice.
I want to see their line combos.
Cap friendly. Not cap friendly. Dailyfaceoff.com.
No, I know, but like I want to see like camp started, who's playing with who's looking good, because Chicago getting rid of Duncan Keith, obviously Seabrook's gone. You got Seth Jones, his brother. There's a few other kids. My best friend's gonna be pissed. He's a big Blackhawks fan, but the Central, like you gotta give it, like you said, Winnipeg, Colorado.
I think Colorado got worse.
I do too.
I mean, that's gotta sound bad, right? Like Colorado got worse. No, but you lose Sod. That he went to St. Louis again. St. Louis got a little better.
They did. You're right.
Lost
Hoffman though. Trigger guy.
Could be Sod.
Not as effective on PP, but I know what you're saying. Like a replacement.
But he could be.
Yeah.
I mean, Braden Shen's an awesome setup guy.
It's true.
I
see Colorado took a step back though. Like they lost Graves, right?
Yeah.
Lost Gruby, brought in Kemper.
Traded Timmins.
Timmins is gone. But I mean, you're in win now mode. You got to give up those pieces. And I know it circles back to Montreal. If you want to win now pieces, I just don't think you're in win now mode. I know they went to the Cup final. I'm a big Habs fan. Okay. I just think it's a growing pain year.
Who was I talking to this about the other day? Everyone shits on Toronto for not getting out of the first round. Colorado hasn't gotten out of the second round since 2002.
And they're Cup favorites last year, and arguably this year.
I don't know, man. I got the Jets as probably one of the top teams in the West. If everything goes well for them and they can stay healthy, that team, and you get fans back in the building, like,
yeah. I mean, especially in Winnipeg, that smaller rink.
I'm not the biggest like Jets fan, but I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Like, that's a tough building to play in.
I love how we pumped the Jets tires all year last year. Come playoffs time, we start shitting on them. Skelly. Skelly, the big mush.
Suck it, Skelly.
Anyways, and then now offseason again, I think they've been most improved in the offseason.
It's a good comment. Bushi, my boy Bushi, going from the Rangers to the Blues.
That is very true.
There's your guy. Comment. Him and Sod. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Those two make up and more for losing Hoffman.
Yeah.
They still have Tarasenko. And am I dumb for saying this? Tarasenko for Kuznetsov.
I don't know. I'm not the biggest Kuzi fan.
But he, he's having issues in Washington.
I think it's more of a cap situation. He got COVID 3 times this year.
I think he has off-ice issues. We've all seen the video.
The nose candies.
He likes to party.
But he did get COVID 3 times for some, I don't know how.
Because he likes to party. Right?
So, I don't know. It's weird, especially like this offseason talk, it's tough to, because there's going to be so many different scenarios come season start. And
we'll jump over to Joel.
Well, yeah. KK.
You got to ride him.
You
can't keep pulling on the reins. You got to ride him because you keep bringing in vets and you know what? And then when it comes around to contract time and he goes, hey, like this, right? And goes, I'm fucking out of here. And everyone goes, well, why is he leaving? you never gave him a shot.
I think this is the year, like we said, like we're going to take a little bit of a step back. I think this is the year where you go, Susie, you're 1C.
Yeah.
KK, you're 2C now, bud. No bet, no Phil Deneau's here. No, like Jake Evans is going to be there, but he's not going to take your spot. Just ride them out. Let's see what the kids have. We gave you great wingers. Like you have Gallagher, Toffoli, Anderson, Hoffman, Druin, Armia.
Yep.
Like all the wingers are there. The complementary pieces are there. Now it's time to step up. It's your 4th year in the league now. Your RFA, you need. I know he's not signed. He's going to sign before the season starts. Now's your time. Like nobody's going to take your spot.
I like the comment from Tank there too. Like Eller, you know what I mean? And you have to really look at it like, okay, you know, 1st round pick, 3rd overall. Is he going to be a top end elite talent where you're looking at 80 plus points? Probably not.
No, I think you're 60,
so
maybe a 70.
You look at the 50 to 65 range.
Yeah.
And you're happy if he gets there.
Right? I think he's gonna, like I'm not saying he's the next Barkov. I think it's gonna be similar where same with Huberdeau. I think KK it's gonna take him. He's gonna be a late bloomer. I think 24, 25. I think you're gonna see him in his prime.
But Huberdeau and Barkov have been absolute studs in Florida. It's just no one gives a shit about Florida.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at the point totals, they weren't the greatest their first few years either. But I mean,
and they came in at 18. So
exactly, like KK.
You got to remember once these guys hit, 23 to 27, that's where you're going to see the escalation of, really growing into the body, getting to know like what you can really do. Mm-hmm. So, and that's the thing, like, again, Canadian market fishbowl guy has a shit season. Don't get all over him because
he turned 21 a month ago.
Exactly. So really, it's going to take another couple years before he really grows into himself. Don't jump all over this kid and shit on him to the point where he goes, all right, fine. I don't fucking want to be here. You guys want to shit on me? I'm leaving.
But I think he's improved every offseason. He's
so good.
Exactly.
Like if you just the little details in his game on where he is away from the puck, where he comes in, supports, on that weak side, and sky's the limit for this kid. And I hope he just rockets.
And I think Dom Ducharme's a perfect coach for that too, where like under Claude Julien, you make a mistake, you're gone, benched. I honestly think this year's they're gonna let the young kids go.
But they sat him in the first couple games of the playoffs.
Yeah, the playoffs.
Is that?
I think regular season is a different ball game.
Yeah, but me and you have talked about this before. Is Ducharme the guy to take this young core to that step? And then if they falter, he gets axed, and then they bring in like a vet coach to really push him to their potential. I think
Ducharme's their guy.
All the way?
Yeah, I think so. Because he's been like, this is before when he was just an assistant, but he's always like, and he was he coached the Halifax Mooseheads, which is just a few hours from here. He's always been lauded as like a great hockey mind, and then can speak both languages as well. So there's the Montreal checkbox there. I think he's our guy. I really do.
Is this where you make the pitch for McKinnon coming to Montreal?
Can you imagine? Do you see the news on him with like the food?
If you're taking ice cream out of my dressing room, those are fighting words, bud. Those are fighting words.
He smells your breath before you walk into the rink. Like, what'd you have for lunch? Nothing.
I'm stealing your shoes.
Yeah.
And I'm taking your car keys too. You're walking home for a day or two.
You had a McMuffin before the game? Run laps. Fuck you, Nate. Let me in the rink.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me your key. What?
I think he's like, obviously because he trains with Sid all summer, so I think he sees the tendencies and like what Sid does, and he's just trying to make Colorado a winner by like getting rid of food and drinks in your dressing room. You think some guys are like, come on, man.
It's like bringing seltzers into the beer room, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, we've got another question for you here, Derek. Do you think Tuukka will be back in February?
Someone needs to take a chance on this guy right now. Pay him money and put him on the IR. Because Boston signed Allmark, right?
Yep.
That's how you say it?
You got Allmark and Swayman.
You're on a team that lost 18 games in a row. Right? Like, I think that's where the question mark is in Boston this year. Because I think they're thinking he comes back. Swayman, depending contract,
He's still young.
So he can go down on waivers, right? But I think they're high on that guy.
Yeah, he's gonna be the future for them. I think Allmark's like a stop, like
4 years,
just a plug. Well, like it would be like this is not a comparison. It's just names. It's like a Carey Price Primo thing. Like Primo can come in. He's not gonna dominate, but he can play in the NHL. We'll say. I know he had a rough year this year.
That's what they said about Zach
Swayman.
Tuukka, though, and
it's true. Great
point. Gone.
Like I think Swayman's a little bit better, but I don't think it's his time yet. I think they want to give him more time.
Jets with Mike Comrie. Not Mike Comrie. Eric Comrie. Brothers, my bad.
Mike Comrie.
They're brothers, same shit.
Bees can always just ship him out too.
Yeah.
So. But
but like if you're a team though, I'm not going to get into that. I was going to say no. Oh no, sorry.
No.
You think the guy? You don't know what you're getting with that team. They are pesky.
Congrats, by the way, to Victor Mete, friend of the show. Well, not Cans, but Dale's show.
Soon.
Birthday boy. But yeah. Victor Mete just signed a deal.
Finally got a job.
Yeah. Mete signed a deal. Like the Senators, man, they impressed me. A lot of people shit on them. Pierre Maguire.
I gotta take a timeout here, buddy.
TV timeout. All right.
TV timeout. Yeah.
But I'll talk to the chat here. The Senators impressed me because their depth in their prospect pool, but also what they have, like Brady Tkachuk, obviously going to be the captain of the Ottawa Senators here soon. I think before the season starts. But I think you got that Sanderson on D, Josh Norris, great kid. Batherson's going to be good. I just really like what Ottawa's doing. I'm not sure if they can make playoffs just because they're not playing in the North Division. And then you're going up against, like we said, Toronto, Boston, Tampa, Florida. Then you got to fight with the Metro for a wild card. Then you got the Rangers, Pittsburgh, Washington, Islanders, teams like that. So I don't know if the Senators can make playoffs, but my goodness, I think in a few years that's going to be a team to watch. You're on mute too.
With the Sens too, sorry if I missed where you went there. Having Pierre Maguire come into that organization is huge.
I know, like a lot of people rip on him, but he's so smart hockey-wise.
He knows his stuff top to bottom. Like if you guys get a chance, go listen to the Chicklets podcast with him. This guy wakes up and he watches game film of everything and anything all day. Like he knows like legit like what you have for breakfast when you were 10. So him being in there and helping that team, I guess, go after the young guys and, really like and again, you know what, having that guy just around the room probably is going to pump that guy will pump your tires all day.
Oh yeah. Like I know how many goals you scored in Adam in the second day of February.
Yeah. Like I know how you scored them too. And it's like, Pierre, that's kind of weird. He goes, yeah, but how sexy was that backhand bar down? And you go, yeah, you're right. So
I think a lot of the Senators team, they're buying into that like Brady Tkachuk kind of style of play too.
Yeah, they're saying Matt Tkachuk wants out of Calgary.
I don't know.
They're saying. Well, I'm guessing. Like I heard he wants to go to St. Louis, but
that'd be cool.
If you got a chance to go play with your brother in Ottawa.
Oh, can you imagine two Tkachuks on the same team? Jesus.
Just take my money and put the channel on. I'm in.
Hey, sorry for that comment. Claude Julien. Sorry if I didn't pronounce it right, pal. I mean, it's the worst that we can do. I'm not a vocal or vocabulary artist, whatever you want to call it. Yoel Armia. See, I pronounced that properly. But anyways, if we want to keep talking about how to pronounce names right, let's talk about the
well, Bill here wants to know if Jake Allen can. I don't think they make it back. I got them as a wild card team at best this year.
I agree.
It's one back, two forward, which, you know what I mean? As long as they have a decent season, end up above 500, because really last two seasons, you know what I mean? The playoff success that they've had the last two seasons has been like house money, right? So now you get a full 82 game season coming up. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and it's great development too. Like we said, like even if they miss playoffs this year, but like the development that Romanov, KK, so all the young guys, like you're talking about comparing to the Chicago Blackhawks before when they were young, it's exact same thing.
Even Tampa.
I preached it all year. Like I honestly still think Montreal's window. I know Price won't be there or he'll be on the tail end. I still think it's like 3 to 4 years away. With the young core, 3 to 5 years.
And you're going to have, like, and you look at the wingers they have, like a lot of the wingers aren't going to be there. You're going to have, different pieces and then depending free agency. But that's a whole nother wormhole that we could go down. But
also, too, Toffoli will be there. Hoffman's going to be there in 3. Anderson will be there. Galley will be there. Caulfield will be there. A fair amount of this team signed long term, except for the D core that's got like 2 to 3 years maybe.
Right, but there's a lot of young, like the way defensemen have changed now, you can draft and throw them right in, right?
Yeah.
So depending how it goes. But yeah, no.
Just to turn the subject a bit, obviously, from your sign behind you. Big night for you, Winnipeg folk. We got the Blue Bombers opening up their season tonight.
Defending champs, baby.
The CFL.
Defending champs. Actually, it is the biggest gathering in Canada since the pandemic started.
Really?
Yeah. Stadium is, I think, pretty much sold out. So 30,000 gonna be an investors group field. Place is gonna be buzzing. Doors just open. $5 beers, $5 fountain drink, or $3 fountain drinks, $3 hot dogs. Buzzing. I'm pumped. I've been waiting for this for like the last month.
And you're going to a game here in a couple weeks, you said.
I think I might go next Friday.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm playing Toronto.
So obviously Dare's a big Blue Bombers fan. Grey Cup banner going up tonight. We'll touch on some CFL this year. Yeah. You guys watch Canadian Premier League? Not necessarily, but we will pretty much watch any sport and talk about it if we can.
We got the Fury here. Or no, not the Fury. Is it the Fury?
Probably not, if you're guessing. I think that's the one with Toronto FC and Montreal. Anyways, if there's CFL
that's
in the chat, let us know who you cheer for.
That's MLS. What do we have here? It's a good name too, and they always have like there's a bunch of them get together on one of the streets here. They go to the tower. That's it. The Valor. Thank you,
Frank.
And yeah. He's probably one of
Frank.
Guy.
Sorry, I'm so used to Frank that watch.
No. You know what? I'm sure he's okay with that. See? Yeah. But no, they all get together at at a pub and they all have drinks before the games and then they get the flags going and they walk to the field. It's pretty cool.
Right on. And then just quickly, couple more Montreal things. Do you see Paling playing on the wing or center? I could see him starting on the wing. Maybe like a Suzuki starts 4th line wing, maybe 3rd line wing. I'm not saying he's going to jump up to the 2nd line center role. But, I mean, he could play 4C.
I mean, coming to jump back again, it all depends how preseason and camp goes. If you come out of the gate and you light the lamp and you give them like no chance to send you down, because I think he's penciled in. So
for sure.
Yeah, maybe he's a dual threat.
Could be.
Maybe he takes,
Another one too is Joel wants to know: does Norlander make the team this year, or does he play with Frölunda one more year? I'm not sure. I've seen a few people talk about this on Twitter, where Norlander might make the team. I'm not sure, just because of the D depth.
He's in the same league as Dale.
He's young. That's true. Dale could be playing against him this year.
We'll get an interview bench to bench. We'll get Dale to drop the mitts. They'll get a 2-minute, we'll get a quick FaceTime on there. Be exclusive to cans.
But I think that's going to be it for tonight. Quite a bit of stuff going on. A lot of UFA stuff. Yeah. Obviously, the CFL starting tonight. The bracket.
Yeah, that's going to start again tomorrow. Brando, you want to bring that up, and we'll I'll run through the matchups here quick.
We'll bring up the bracket. Just give me 1 second here.
There it is. What do we got? Jake Taylor, solid major league, and Bobby Boucher. Yeah. The thing is, like, we picked them. I threw all the names in a hat and just randomly picked them out. So, I mean, there's a lot of you got the Riggins and Saracen, Jake Taylor, Ricky Vaughn there. And then how about Drago and Clubber Lang in there? That should be all right. Dougie Glatt should get through. The Hansons, I mean, yeah, it's all three of them. It's not fair. So take that into consideration. Benny the Jet, Shark LeVay, big Shark LeVay guy here, but I know Julian Washington lost out in the first round. As you guys can see, he has moved on, but that'll be fixed. Roy Munson has moved through. And then if you guys want to look ahead, I'm pretty sure the thing is up on our Twitter and whatnot, and on our channel. You guys can look ahead to see what's coming up. Ty Webb is clutching Caddyshack. I think he could upset the Hansons there. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm going to look ahead here. What do we got up here? Xavier Laflamme. I think he goes through. Him and Derek Sutton would be an epic round 2. We got to make that happen. Lincoln Hawk, Willie Beeman. I think we got to get some clips up there for that one. I'm a big fan of that.
So what are you thinking?
The Bombers are banged up today. We don't got our starting running back. We're missing a wide receiver. I don't know. It's gonna be huge. That crowd's gonna be massive. So heads up for the beer snake.
Yeah.
You see those MLB beer snakes?
Nothing on the old Blue Bombers?
No. They actually had to ban the beer snakes in the stadium there for a few weeks. Because they would go right from the field and they would go like to the upper deck.
That's awesome.
Even like, because us and the Wild have like that, like, because they have trips here where you can jump on a bus, they drive you down to Mini, you go to the game, piss it up, and then you come back. Well, I guess they had Winnipeg fans had a whole section started from the glass, and again the beer snake made an appearance in XL Energy Center.
That's wicked. But quickly before we get going here, I just want to mention that if you haven't seen it yet, interview with Brendan Gallagher was last night, obviously on the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Also, Flashback Friday tomorrow night, Nick and Deeksy. And we've got a few more guests coming here. It would be
going to be huge.
Yeah, Paling for sure.
Huge.
That's happening. I know Suzuki teetering on just trying to narrow out the details with him. And one thing that we have to mention too is Dale's in Sweden now, like most of you do know. We're trying to plan off like 3-4 different time zones. So we're just trying to narrow stuff down like that when he's available.
He's 6 ahead of me, so 4 ahead of you.
5 ahead of me. 7, I think, of you.
6 ahead of me.
Is he?
Yeah.
No, I thought he was 5 ahead of me.
I talked to him when I finished work around 3. What time is it there? Yeah, it's like, maybe 7. I don't know.
I think it's 7 or 10.
He's like, I talk to you when you're done work. I go to bed. I wake up and talk to you before you go to. Yeah, it's it's weird. So,
but anyways, like we said, just subscribe to the channel. Tons of stuff coming. Interviews with current Habs players, which is what you guys look forward to the most, obviously. Crushing Cans, we're just going to be covering, like we did today, UFA signings, some CFL, maybe some soccer. Soccer was talked about. Watch Tank was talking about soccer.
Frank the
Maybe
Tank.
we'll pick up on that. Yeah, that's my bad.
I don't know what's going on with Valor here. I have no idea.
But tons of stuff to talk about. Sports are picking back up. Jays are on a roll.
Next week, are we coming back next week? I don't know.
Yeah, why not?
Might be 2 weeks. I'm kind of handcuffed, I think, next week.
Oh, all the vacation. So sorry. I was going to say, anybody that wants to tune in, just make sure you subscribe. Habstonight.net for all your merch if you want to get some merch. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Love the support. I know it's off season, so it's a little tricky to see what we're going to talk about, but we appreciate everybody tuning in, active in the chat. It's been a blast. Anyways, from the Crushin' Cans crew, thank you very much.
Love curling. It's awesome. I love curling. Scotties and then the Briar. Oof.
Yeah. All right. Any last words, buddy, before we head off?
Go Blue. 7:30 banner raise. Let's go. Let's go.
Right. Thank you, everybody in chat. Have a good night from the Habs Tonight Crushin' Cans crew. Everybody. Sponsored by Torque. Thank you. Have a good one, guys.